Yo, whoa, yo, chat, what's going on? Y'all say O3 nigga, AKGO. Hey, yeah, I don't know if y'all seen it, bro, but I posted a little video talking about the giveaway. You feel me? I'm doing for the channel. You feel me? Go check that shit out if y'all want a free 25 or the chance to win a free 25. You feel me? I ain't saying if you watch the video, you guarantee you gonna get 25. But you know what I'm saying? It's a giveaway. It's a raffle type junk. But hey, shit, man. Look, today we're gonna be getting into where are rap snitches now? Why the fuck did I just...
There's not many things worse that you can do
This
for a
nigga's-
rapper's career than to
Hold
be
on, y'all.
caught telling.
Hold on, it's kind of cold. What the fuck? I'm opening up.
In a genre that's so intertwined with street code, fans are quick to write off anyone who was discovered to be an informant and not living up to their lyrics about being a real OG who
Dummy,
stands
what they
10
did to
toes
Pop Hunter
down.
was...
Even if some of those listeners have only seen
Yo, I don't know. I don't really remember what the nigga looked like out the face. You feel me? I don't know if he showed him in the intro already, but I hope he going into the Pop Hunter shit. The way Uzi and did Pop Hunter, man, what? I crashed the fuck out.
the hood from a telescope in the suburbs, they still aren't willing to listen to a rat. But what happens after these allegations surface? And is there any way back from it? My name is
I just saw
Luesta,
the
and
Pop
today
Hunter
we're gonna discuss what happens to rappers after they snitch.
Shout out Luesta,
And
man.
if we're
Link in
talking
the
about
description.
rappers who turned into rats, we might as well start with one of the most
Roddy
notorious examples.
Rich.
Tekashi
What?
who turned into rats. We might as
What the fuck? Ain't that Roddy Rich? Oh shit, that might be Pop Hunter with my dumb ass. Oh shit, I'll be first.
well start with one of the most notorious examples, Tekashi 6ix9ine. After a few years of trying to make it, a young Daniel Hernandez had an idea for how he wanted his new video for his track Gummo to look. Now that
nigga
he was
used to
rhyming
try
with a
to-
harder edge to his lyrics, he needed some credentials to back
Man,
it up.
what?
And
6ix9ine shit nasty. The bro used to rap a whole different type of way. And was running with them Crips out New York. Then them niggas said, nah, you can't be with us no more. You can't hang around us. Or no, I don't even think they was Crips, but he was originally one with Crips, running with Crips in New York. And then they said, nah, I can't be around us. You fuck going from around here, nigga. So then yo went to like they ops hood and linked up with them niggas and was like, look, I'm about to make it in rap. Be my henchman, be my bodyguard type shit. Be my like entourage type shit. It then just snitched on all them niggas. Yeah, that shit bad. I don't even know.
as he was never a gang member, he found it through hiring the infamous 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods to appear in his video. Once this formula worked, 6ix9ine kept running with the gang and became a member. But rather than having to do dirt in the streets, Tekashi, who was now racking up a gang of Billboard hits, had one job for the gang. He simply had to keep making hits and giving financial support to the gang, as well as equipping them with guns so that he can get credibility and protection in return. Styled as the self-appointed king of New York, Tekashi provoked everyone to try and beef with him. And when he had the protection of the gang, he could do crazy things like the time he showed up to O Block in the middle of the night, since he knew that his brothers in the 9 Trey would have his back.
O Block right here. I shit cold as shit, no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at?
All the while, he was becoming a huge star.
Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Nah, that nigga. Yo, I miss pre-snitch 6ix9ine. Like 6ix9ine before he snitched, that shit was funny as fuck. His trolling antics was fucking hilarious, bro. O Block. I should call this shit No Block. Where the fuck y'all at?
Collaborating with the likes of Nicki
Yo, you should stay
Minaj,
keep
Tory
niggas
Lanez,
laughing on
and
IG, I
even
ain't gonna lie.
Kanye West. But in November of 2018, Tekashi's world came crashing down after he was arrested alongside the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods on RICO charges. It was here where Tekashi was now facing 32 years in jail. Now, he had to decide, does he want to really stick with the tough image and do his time, or should he just work it out with the cops
Them
to get a
niggas
lighter
had just
sentence?
kidnapped
Well,
him,
he
too.
found out what he was gonna do the first night he was locked up.
First night, I got locked up. I watched Lone Survivor, and I was like, I'm definitely snitching, right? and then, no, seriously.
So from the jump, from the
yeah.
jump.
After all of that posturing, 6ix9ine was going to be out in a matter of months. But
Yo, that should be the new word for snitching. Yo, don't even say that nigga a rat. Don't say he bit the cheese. Say yo went in there and started watching Lone Survivor.
no one could understand how that would work. But when he first reemerged, it seemed like he was about
That
to pick
shit got
right
me
back up where he
crying.
left off, as he broke the Instagram live viewing record in his
was
first
there.
public appearance.
I was in there.
However, when it
I was
came time for
watching.
Tekashi to drop music, his sales literally halved. And rather than acknowledge it, he lashed out on the charts and claimed that he was being blackballed by the industry while other rappers were doing dirty work behind the scenes, such as buying their #1 singles. Although it was really clear that the fanbase wasn't really buying it. 6ix9ine, numbers don't lie. Also 6ix9ine, the Billboard numbers are wrong. As most of hip hop rejected him, he's been shot bail from the likes of Akon, who basically said that this was more commonplace than people made it out to be.
In jail.
And that's unfortunately
80%
the
of the motherfuckers that's locked up right now are all cooperating with the police. There's more snitches in jail than there are so-called real niggas. Everybody in that motherfucker done cooperated. If they can get time less the amount they was given, they telling, my nigga.
Even though he became accustomed to raking in tons of cash from concerts and hit songs, Tekashi ended up filing for bankruptcy in May of 2022. In the paperwork, 6ix9ine said, "Right now, I'm struggling to make ends meet. I do not know if I will ever command the kind of advances I was paid before my arrest, and my career stalled. If the court awards the compensatory and punitive damages sought by the plaintiffs at this inquest, it will surely bankrupt me in a way which I will never recover, to the permanent detriment of the family members who rely upon me." After trying to make a Latin album without even hitting the charts, Tekashi is basically just living on an infamy. From getting jumped in a gym to being arrested in the Dominican Republic on domestic violence charges, the headlines are about everything other than the music these days. But as Steve Will Do It from the Nelk Boys found out, he's still out here scamming people.
I am mad about that. It's alright. So I got him a deal, right? To play video games
With Rumble?
once a week for an hour.
Damn.
$2 million up front, and just doesn't do anything.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's pretty much that simple. It's the fact that he had no money at the time, and he needed money to fucking. He breaks up with his girlfriend, and he needs money. And like, dude, you see these videos of him giving away money and stuff. It's never his money.
I
Like, when he
can't
gives his
even
mom a
lie,
car,
y'all. I don't
and
even. I want to skip this
buying
part, but
himself
it's part of the video, so I'm gonna just watch it. But this nigga's a lame.
After all that's been said and done,
That's Steve Will Do
Tekashi
It,
has
nigga,
gone
he's
from
a
telling
lame.
people to
I don't
test his
wanna listen to a
gangsta to
lame
being the
talk about
poster
another
boy
lame.
for how falsified the culture
You
can
feel
be
me?
by people like Logic.
It's very evident, right? I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying that he puts on this,
Nah,
this
shout out
character,
Logic, shout out
especially if you
Marilyn.
judge based off what he said in court. I ain't trying to fucking start beef with 6ix9ine. I'm just using an example that there are some rappers out there that are more about a persona and a personification, and because of that, when people shit on their music or shit on them, it doesn't matter because they're not really portraying who they are on the record.
Although his career is in a horrible state as of right now, at least 6ix9ine had a lengthy time at the top. Well, for Spot 'em Got 'em, his snitching allegations were so bad that rappers like Lil Durk literally refunded him $100,000 for a verse he did, just because he didn't want to be affiliated with him anymore. Back in 2020,
Say Doug. Look, got some. We run right around more cars than the shots. What that nigga? I'm trying to remember what that nigga Rallo said on that 5500 Degrees song. He basically said something about the nigga a rat. He gonna send the verse back, send the paper back. and you feel me? Like he ain't doing no verse for a rat. I'm gonna send the paper back, some shit like that.
On them, it doesn't matter because they're not really portraying who they are on the record.
although his career is in a horrible state as of right now, at least 6ix9ine had a lengthy time at the top. Well, for Spot 'em Got 'em, his snitching allegations were so bad that rappers like Lil Durk literally refunded him $100,000 for a verse he did, just because he didn't want to be affiliated with him anymore. Back in 2020, you couldn't escape Spot 'em Got 'em's breakout hit Beatbox. Considering it got remixed by basically half of the industry, it made it seem like this Florida rapper.
Bruh, Pooh Shiesty and NLE Chopper beatboxes is the hardest. And I feel like y'all be disrespecting, like, I don't know. I feel like the Pooh Shiesty one is underrated, maybe because it was the first one. It was like the first remix to it. But, boy, what? Slime with the head, something in the head already deep cut. And a fucking little walk. Man, what? Boy, what? That nigga Pooh Shiesty was sliding on that bitch. Oh, no, I don't feel like niggas talking about that shit. I'ma do hey, do your homework on. I'ma do a high reaction to that shit after I get done recording this. Cause that nigga was sliding. Well,
had a promising and successful career ahead of him.
dropped my
However, when news surfaced that he didn't even stutter in snitching on one of his own
Darn.
friends started emerging.
Yo, I never knew about the Spider-Man guy snitching shit, so I'm actually like.
When news surfaced that he didn't even stutter in snitching on one of his own friends started emerging by media outlets, it really brought his whole thing down. Basically, the story is this. In June of 2020, Spotum Gotham was caught with guns and marijuana at a Florida
2020?
residence alongside
I thought it was
YNR
gonna be old,
Mookie.
too.
Once the cops showed up, Spotum hastily gave his homie up, with claims that he was asleep when the cops initially arrived, and that Mookie was freaking out because he had a weapon on him. The facts are, Spotum told the police he saw Mookie with a gun and hinted that some pills weren't his, leading to Mookie's arrest while Spotum Gotham got to leave. Ultimately, Mookie beat the case because the cops didn't file the right paperwork, while for Spotum Gotham, it was time for damage control.
They're saying you snitched on YNR Mookie, and there's a lot of noise out there about it. Papers been leaked and all that,
YNR
allegations
Mookie
flying
is
around.
famous
What's your side of the
rapper, too.
story?
Hold on,
Just let's set the record.
Hold on. Has Mookie, has he like talked about this shit in a song or interview or something? Like, what the fuck, bro? Why not Mookie? Like, I know that name. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? Like, that's like a known nigga. Like, I know that name. Has he ever said something like about Spotum Gotham? Like, fuck?
Noise out there
I
about it.
never heard
Papers
about
been
this
leaked and
shit,
all that,
child.
allegations flying around. What's your side of the story? Just let's set the record straight.
Nah, me and Mookie, we talk. It's some old shit. I don't know. Like, I never seen it, but I seen it on the internet. I guess the police put whatever the allegations they put. But me and Mookie, we cool. That's my brother. I don't know how I got on the internet.
Denying
Police
that
put
shit.
that shit out.
There's like
We
I
tried
said,
to den drop, and we both went to jail for like 21 days before it got out. And it was nothing after that. I never heard.
To make matters worse, even well-known enemies like Fulio and Young E and Ace could all agree on one thing, and that's the fact that the beatbox rapper was a rat.
Spotum Gotham. This is a
Hey, wasn't Spotum Gotham cool with ATK and all them niggas? I was just about to say what Ace gonna talk about that shit, and I saw Ace drop the track. RP Fulio, man, down. RP Fulio. But I saw Ace drop the track. I'm gonna do a reaction to that whenever I get the chance. Probably before I had to work today. I'm looking at the time. I don't know if I got time, but I'm gonna get into that shit.
And that's the fact that the beatbox rapper was a rat.
Spotum Gotham. This is told on his homeboy. I never told on no. I had homeboys telling on me. I know how that feel. I never tell on no. On you, boy. You tried me. Boy, die behind me. You tripping.
Try as he might, his career has never been the same since. And these days, he's predominantly in the news for all the wrong reasons, like the time he got shot and arrested. If all that didn't happen, things could have been so much different for him. At
Yeah,
one
but
point,
he get
Lil
shot and
Durk,
arrested
whose
at the
own
same
father
time?
is now behind bars after being snitched on, gave back $100K for a feature that he had already recorded and refused to let the track come out. For a lot of people, Durk's ruling further solidified what people thought about him. But although they think that the Chicago rapper was right on this occasion, his decision not to work with Spotum Gotham but record a verse for real Boston Richie has been seen as a little hypocritical. For those who don't know, Boston Richie is a Tallahassee rapper who is signed to Future's Free Band's label, and he's had plenty of buzz in recent years. Despite only beginning to rap in 2021, Boston Richie's early tracks like Keep Dissing made an immediate splash. But before he could really build a major brand, his career was sent into a tailspin when news emerged that he cooperated with a 2013 police investigation, explaining his involvement with a stolen car alongside 2 conspirators. The reactions were as expected, so Richie tried to tell his side of the story.
So we go to the TBD station, you know, I'm on some shit like, but them boy really ain't know the car was stolen. This my whoop.
Yeah.
So like the police like took that from as in saying like, oh, me saying they was in the whoop to me, they knew the car was acknowledged as being stolen, you know what I'm saying? But that was never the case, cause like...
On top of denying that it caused a strain on he and Future's relationship, he also suggested that the publicity was actually helpful to his career.
Shit, my number's up. I ain't gonna say all publicity, good publicity, but it's just like shit, it's just sometimes it's just what it come with it, you feel me? Like,
yeah,
nigga can't be no great if a nigga can't recall you going through a certain situation.
Although he is right in the sense that things haven't really stalled and he's still getting a lot of attention, it still hasn't completely gone away, and this isn't even the only time he's been accused of snitching. So videos like this ultimately haven't helped.
But then again, this one I'm trying to tell you, like, I don't think he was like, but we know for a fact, the reason we know they hang, because Eddie gave him, his mama gave him
His mama?
The nigga Jarrell gang members.
Once this video did the rounds, he proclaimed that he threw
snitched
the
on a
cops
nigga
off the scent with
mama?
false information, but not everyone is so eager to accept this story, and fans did him dirty in the comments. He's doing a promo run for his next album, The Boston Plea Party. I'm not messing with anyone who talks to police for a whole hour. While he's still doing pretty well, it's hard to imagine he wouldn't be doing a little better if these allegations weren't hanging over his head. In this sense, Richie received a favorable outcome. However, it's important to note that not everyone experiences such leniency. I mean, just look at what happened to Pop Hunna, a Philly rapper who was among the first rappers to really pop off on TikTok. Pop Hunna was off to a flying start with Corvette.
Yo, I was gonna do a remix of that Corvette song. It was gonna be like my first like single. Like that was gonna be my first. Like that was gonna be my first song. Was a Corvette remix, but that beat was so ass. I was like, nah, I ain't even trying to do that.
Soon, he even had Lil Uzi Vert on the remix entitled Adderall. But just when things looked to be going so well, news emerged that back when he was 14 years old, he talked to the cops after his friend was killed. Once the paperwork was issued, the Philly MC was basically disowned by the game that he was just entering. And try as he might to defend his actions as that of a scared child, it felt like nobody wanted to hear it.
Man, I be wishing all the time that I never went through that shit, bro. Ain't no kid supposed to go through no shit like that, bro. I was a kid, bro. Ain't no kid supposed to go through no shit like that, bro. I seen some shit that a kid wasn't supposed to see. And then, bro, I gotta live with that. Like, bro, that's gonna always be in my mind.
Yeah,
I have to live with that shit. I don't even sleep, bro. I don't go to sleep at night, bro. I do not sleep,
like
bro. Every time I close my eyes, bro, I see that shit happening over and over and over and over and over again, bro. I barely even want to have fun, bro. Even being a rapper, bro. After shows and shit, bro, like I used to cry, bro. After every show, bro.
Although a screenshot went around claiming that Uzi asked to be taken off the remix, Pop says that never happened, but that he still got completely ghosted by him.
I started seeing a screenshot.
Right.
That it was Uzi saying to you like, yo, bro, I don't want to be on your tape no more. Please, could you take me off your tape because like you're telling on.
Niggas thinking that this was real is so dumb because these are shown from Pop Hunter's side. Why would he expose those messages? Like, why would those messages leak out of his phone? If that shit was like, if that shit did happen, that shit was real. You feel what I'm saying? That's dumb as a motherfucker. The internet just believe anything.
On people.
Bro, let me explain something to you, right? Dude never said the shit, bro. He never ever said that.
So he never asked to be taken off your tape?
Bro, that's the last messages right there, bro. He never said that, bro. Like, don't you think if he would have said some shit like that, it would have been in there? Since I wasn't saying anything about it.
Why didn't you say nothing? Like, that's an easy lie to disprove. That shit was an indictment. I'm gonna be honest. When I saw that, and I said, "Oh shit!" Like Uzi's on the hottest song, and if he's asking not to have that song,
he never said that, bro. Like, bro, he never said a word to me about that. Like, since that shit came out, bro, we ain't say nothing to each other.
While Pop Hunna had to lose a friend and then let go of his connection to Uzi, another of hip-hop's most infamous snitches didn't hesitate to turn into an informant on one of his own, and that was Big Mike. A longtime member of O-Block and brother of the infamous STL member Wooski, Big Mike caught a murder case when a young man named Malcolm Stuckey was shot at a party. According to reports, King Von had been at the event when things got tense, at which point he called Big Mike for backup. After the 19-year-old was murdered, Mike and Vaughn...
Yo, this feel weird as shit. Usually, you know, we hear this story from the perspective of, like, Vaughn being the main player, or we retelling Vaughn life. You feel me? Retelling Vaughn drills. This like retelling Big Mike drill. This like, damn, this crazy. R.I.P. Vaughn, bro. Usually we hear, like, y'all know what I'm saying, though, from Vaughn perspective. This from Big Mike perspective. Like,
were eventually brought in for questioning, and knowing that there were so many witnesses at the party, Mike felt like he had no other option but to cooperate with law enforcement.
Once I got presented with what was going on and what it was, I knew the best way for me to get up out that, well, I didn't know. I thought the best way for me to get up out that shit was just tell them like shit. Them niggas signed me first. Basically said one thing led to another shit. Man.
You know, did the COs or other inmates
Yo, I ain't even gonna
troubles?
lie.
You know, knowing
Who, me?
Yeah.
Tell you, ain't no nigga play with me.
Intent on getting off as lightly as possible.
That nigga to this day would still snitch. If this same situation popped up to this day, he would not change. Y'all people, he just slipped up and was like, I knew the best way, or I thought the best way to get out was, nah, he know in his heart of hearts that the best way of that shit is to tell. He to this day are still snitch instead of just shutting the fuck up. All Vaughn did was shut the fuck up, and bro beat that case. He's still going to tell to this day.
Possible, Mike even offered to snitch on an additional killing just to help his case. Defendants asked if it would be helpful for him if he gave the detective information about the shooting and another murder. Despite his best efforts, Mike still received a hefty 28-year sentence, which likely came down to the fact that once it took time to take the stand, he refused to snitch on Vaughn. Although he was scheduled for nearly 3 decades of incarceration, Mike only ended up spending 9 years in prison. But somehow, he's still telling on Vaughn in his press run since emerging from jail.
Yeah, like we had a motive on why we was doing the shit we was doing. I would say he was no serial killer, but he will kill you.
Where no one would deny that what Mike did was snitching, one artist who has benefited from the gray area over what is telling and what isn't is Gunna. Just a couple of years ago, Gunna was unquestionably one of the most beloved figures in hip-hop. Known for working with the biggest names in the A, Gunna's career reached its peak with 2022's DS4 going #1. However, he didn't have much time for a victory lap, as soon he was jammed up in the RICO case against Young Thug and YSL as the Fulton County DA attempted to portray them as a violent street gang. Suddenly locked up, no one thought Gunna would turn on his mentor in Thugga, although he did have previous—
Man, boy, what? That shit was crazy, bro. When they got picked up in the mug shot of Gunna and Thug dropped at the same time, bro, we was like, oh shit, they really try and get YSL the fuck up out of here. Like, they not playing. They got the rappers in jail. You feel me? Like, they ain't just pick up the homie, try to get in a wiretap. Like, this beyond that. This like, oh, they got a case built on these niggas. They got the rappers. Like, they trying to not let these niggas go. You feel me? It's like, damn.
Offenses, such as the time he appeared on CNN's Crime Stoppers as a teenager, but it was clear that he had no intention of spending years behind bars. Immediately, his lawyers insisted he wasn't about that life, saying, there is no allegation that he committed any acts of violence. There is no allegation that he ever sold any drugs. There is no allegation that he ever committed any act relating to obstruction of justice or interfering with the administration of justice. Left with the option of staying in jail without bond or tasting freedom again, he chose to go for an Alford plea. For those who aren't familiar with this term, it's basically a guilty plea in which a defendant maintains their innocence, but they admit that the prosecution's evidence would likely result in a guilty verdict if brought to trial. With that, Gunna was back outside, and immediately he tried to get ahead of those in.
Best way I can explain the Alford plea real quick is, alright, I'm not saying, look, I'm saying I'm innocent, but shit, the way it's looking, they might fry my ass if I go to court. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm innocent though, some real shit. But you know, I ain't gonna lie. They is over there building a little case. I ain't gonna lie. They got some got some shit that look crazy on me. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm innocent though.
Inevitable snitching allegations, such as the time he said this to WSB-TV in a statement after the news broke. While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. My focus of YSL was entertainment. Rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life in the black community. Try as he might, not everyone was buying it, and before long, longtime collaborators like Lil Baby and Lil Durk had unfollowed him. Meanwhile, leadership of the label like YSL Mondo couldn't believe what he had done.
Boy, you didn't supposed to do that, my brother. Even though I didn't be talking about it. Everybody who got common sense, everybody who's been in the streets, no, you did not, but you don't do no.
Based upon how angered people were by the idea that he betrayed Thugger, it really looked like there might be no way back for him. In fact, many OGs thought it was a wrap.
The film in court came out and, you know, of course his lawyer wrote that. He didn't write that. His lawyer probably wrote that. But now in these days when you got the camera, it just look like, you know, they're gonna say, you pushing please. We ain't fucking with Gunna. Because, I mean, in this business, if you turn into a rat, it's kind of like career's over. Me, I would have rather sat a little longer, because I was only in there for a year. I would have sat a little longer than coming out to what the internet do to you.
Yeah, because
Me,
Gunna,
that's just my opinion.
But as bad as things looked for Gunna, he would
Me,
eventually
I would've
return
sat
to
there a
what he
little
does
longer.
best, and went on to drop his album, A Gift and a Curse.
Me, I would have sat in there a little longer. Shut the fuck up, cuz. Grown ass man want to sit in jail for an extra year. Be with your family, though. Like, yo, there's something wrong with us.
He would eventually
It's something wrong with
return to
not
what he
us.
does
It's something
best,
wrong with
and went
street
on to
niggas,
drop his
bro.
album, A Gift
I
and a
swear to
Curse.
God.
Suddenly forced to stand on his own 2 feet without any guest verses,
No
the record
features.
landed at number
Damn.
3 and delivered some major
Bangers.
hits like Fuck You Mean and Back to
what?
the Moon. Named Complex's #1 album of
Okay.
the entire
Fuck
year,
you
Gunna
mean.
is now heading out on his Bittersweet tour. As a result, he's become one of the only rappers ever to be accused of snitching and turn it into a victory lap. Through what happened to the YSL artist, we maybe see a change.
Until I can't lie, until the case is really over, bro, we can't say he beat the snitching allegations. But on my mama, that motherfucker worked past it. On my baby, that nigga got through it. It ain't affecting his career. And that's just cause Gunna never made, like, you never had to believe Gunna was a hood nigga. Like, you never had to believe Gunna was hard to enjoy his music. You never had to have an image of him of being a hard ass, a killer ass, you feel me, real ass nigga. Like, he just make hard ass, like, he just made good music. He just got good sounds and was just surrounded by, you feel me? He was just a nigga with good sounding music surrounded by all that. So the background built it up to make it look like that. But for real, Gunna himself, you never had to believe that nigga was really hood or, you feel me, not like that to fuck with this shit. But yeah, with that being said, man, I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. I'm gonna quit that yapping shit. I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one, man. I love y'all. Peace out. Thank y'all for 1,000, man. I can't say it enough. Hit that giveaway video. You feel what I'm saying?